I mean, it's kind of like a necessity in Vegas, right?
I, you know, so Bunny, how the hell did you end up at a Hustler Hollywood? First off,
I honestly was driving by and I saw the sign. I was like, James would love this, and I'm gonna stop in and ask. So
Check out the sale rack. It's I got some amazing. I got like this big like red robe boa like thing at in LA. It was on the not the clearance rack but the sale rack, and I got this really cute like teddy. So check it out. It's really good.
I love those.
I love bargains.
So Bunny, they've got a little bit of everything there. It seems.
This is like a huge selection.
That's on my Christmas list. I want Santa to bring me a Hitachi. The top shelf there. You just showed it. That's what I want my porn Santa to bring me.
Your porn Santa. There's such a thing as a porn Santa. Yes.
Oh, they're no longer called Hitachi. Phoenix. Is her name Phoenix too? What are they called?
They changed their name. They're now the Magic Wand.
They're
the Magic Wand, Gigi.
Well, let's do some magic.
We're gonna have to tell the porn Santa he's got to update his list.
Update his list. I hope it's not too late. I don't want him to get the wrong thing.
So Phoenix. Okay. So Phoenix, what is some of your top sellers there at your location there?
The Womanizer is an amazing device.
Womanizer.
Whatever. This is any given Sunday, right?
Any given Sunday. Gigi, you picked a hell of a day to join us.
Right.
The Womanizer that is a clitoral suction device. It is an air pull. And it is amazing.
I have one.
Yeah. I'm all about the work. All about it.
I'm also about the late too. It's going to do the same thing. However, that one I'd say has a little bit more kick, a little bit more power behind it. So,
a little bit more kick. Gigi, do you need a little bit more kick in your pleasure devices?
In my clit stimulation? I suppose. That actually sounds kind of intense. A little more kick in your stimulation. Ow!
You guys normally have like what's her name that I interviewed? Riley Reid.
Yes, you interviewed Riley Reid at one point.
They have her parts, right?
They have her parts there.
Yeah, look though, James. They have this whole you could get it bent over, or you could get this whole body.
Is it the whole body, or is it just her butt down? That seems very...
It's kind of weird.
Satisfying.
Look
at that.
Riley Reid and Jamie Jett, though, they were so sweet to me, and they're super.
Jamie Jett. I remember Jamie Jett. She's great.
Jamie Jett's a sweetheart.
So, Phoenix, I have a question for you.
Oh, he's got a question.
I got a question for you. Do you sell these? I've seen them at strip clubs. They're like stripper shoes that you can keep money in. Do you guys sell those?
I have not seen those yet in our inventory, but I will pass that on because that sounds very useful.
It is quite the deal. I've seen them at a few of the local strip clubs here in Kansas, and then I've also heard a few strippers are like into that because they got to keep that money somewhere.
Yeah, exactly. Got to stuff it somewhere. You're right. That's a good question. I'll take a look.
Are those DVDs?
They've got DVDs.
They're like tons.
She's got DVDs there.
That's mine.
Cock addiction.
I don't even have a DVD player anymore. Who would
Do you sell a lot of DVDs there, Phoenix?
You sell a lot of DVDs?
Absolutely. We are always we've got DVDs constantly, or buy one get one half off, so they're always on sale.
They're always on sale there, Gigi. You got to go out and get yourself a DVD player there, Gigi, and head over there to the old Hustler
Hollywood.
Hollywood.
That's my Christmas list. Apparently,
we got to add that to the porn Santa list.
Santa's gonna get
the Womanizer she's talking about.
There it is. The
Loving our
womanizer.
planet can be orgasmic. It's wonderful. It truly is.
Well, hey, Bunny.
It's phenomenal, like Jiggy would say.
Bunny, when you're done with your trip at the Hustler Hollywood, give us a holler back. I would love to have you involved in this interview.
No, I'll go ahead and exit out. I just wanted to make a purchase really quick.
Hey, that's fine. Make a purchase and then call us back.
A little
I'll
stocking
call you right back. And this is Phoenix also, right?
This is Gigi, actually.
Gigi, sorry. You said 2 Phoenixes earlier. Gigi, I'm sorry.
It's all good, babe.
It's all good, babe. Well, hey, make your purchase.
Right back with you.
Make your purchase and call us right back, my friend.
I will, yes.
I appreciate it. There she goes. That's the bunny.
Oh my God, she's hysterical.
Who knew that you'd call in today to share Exotica adventures and we'd be talking about your porn Santa list?
Oh my goodness. It's good that I have a list, though, right?
That's right. By the way, you are looking quite fantastic today. You are quite the little perv magnet today. So that's
Why,
that's
thank
good.
you. Thank you.
I used the term perv magnet yesterday, and my photographer, the legendary Bob Hunter, told me, he's like, there's a lot of chicks that don't like that perv magnet comment, and I said, I know, but they're not here right now.
They're not here, and guess what? If they get, this is my opinion on people who get offended lately. Stop.
Just stop.
Just stop. Stop being offended. It's all going to be okay.
It's going to be okay. That's right.
It'll all be okay.
So, Gigi, you are freshly back from Exotica in Washington, D.C., of all places.
I am.
Oh, what the hell was that like?
It was really good, actually. So I had very low minimum expectations, being first year and being a new city, being the month of a couple weeks before Christmas and during the holiday season, and they said it was in DC, but it was actually Chantilly, Virginia, so it was actually almost 40 minutes from actual proper DC. So so we had very low minimal expectations, but the turnout was incredible. The audience didn't Chicago, Jersey. They have the flow, right? When we were in Chicago, the attendees knew the game. They came up, they came with money, they came they were there, they knew what they needed. Yeah. DC was very, for lack of a better term, they were very much window shoppers. They didn't quite know what to expect or how to kind of vibe. But after a little while, they got the groove. I talked to Alex Cole for a while, and she's like, we just kind of have to teach them. They're obviously new; they've never done this before, so we kind of have to teach them the ropes. Teach them that you don't put your hands unless you ask, and you don't get grabby. And they were very, very good, though. For the most part, I think it was a great experience, a great turnout. Friday and Saturday was off the hook. I would say that it comped New Jersey as far as attendance goes. It was very busy. And they were all really great. The performers were a little bit of a smaller downscale because I think a lot of performers, being the month of Christmas and being that it's a new city, I think a lot of performers didn't really know how to act, so they didn't come and didn't show up in droves. But those of us who were there were really a good group of people, and we had a blast in the after parties, and it was just a great weekend all around.
So one of the big complaints that Big Will had when we were in Chicago is that at the after parties, a lot of the drinks were terribly expensive. Did you find that?
They were, but they were also extremely strong here. So, for instance, I'm a Tito's and Sprite or a Tito's and seltzer girl. So I got a drink that was about this size. And it was 3 shots in that one glass. So I had 2 drinks, and Friday night, I don't remember going back to my room. I don't know how I got there. It's a blur. So Saturday, I nursed a hangover pretty good on Saturday. Thank goodness it didn't start till 1 o'clock because I was like, there's no way my ass is getting out of bed before that. But the drinks were expensive, but they were at least strong, so it kept you to like a
Balanced
2-drink,
itself
3-drink
out.
minimum. To where like if you drank much more than that, you were gonna be blacked out drunk. So
Gigi Dior with us today. She's sharing Exotica stories from Washington, D.C., of all places. And she joins us today here on our big program. And if you missed us, if you just came in or you've tuned in late, Gigi, when she first arrived with us, she came in the middle of this, apparently the bunny decided to resurface and take us through a Skype video tour of a Hustler Hollywood somewhere in Seattle. So,
I was plucked into a shopping spree.
so we were in the middle of a shopping experience, and we got to hear about something that apparently I did not know existed until today, something called a porn Santa.
Porn Santa. We all have to have our Santas, right?
Always have to have. Well, every year, the lovely and talented Britannia, good old Brittany, always asks, the lovely Crystal Baxter, well, what do you want for your Santa gift? So now I have to ask Brittany, what do you want for your porn Santa gift?
Now, because it's a very different. You cannot open those gifts under the Christmas tree on Christmas morning. Those are hush hush. Those are Christmas Eve presents.
Yes. So at this event, when you say that you've got to educate some of these, as I like to call them, the porn marks, of no grabbing, no touching, all this stuff, did they have some problems with that, or?
I definitely think DC was a little handier than it, in my personal experience anyway. New Jersey was very respectful. They asked, or I was like, you can grab my butt or whatever. DC definitely took a little more liberties, so you kind of had to say, no, like, ask before you touch, or I'll be like, I don't mind you grabbing my butt, but like, don't caress it. You definitely need to educate them. I don't know if other people had the same issue. There was a lot of staring. A lot. So I don't know if a lot of staring. They were not quite sure like what was going on. So.
Well, one of the things that Casey Carter always does is she takes Lorenzo with her everywhere she goes. So I bet that guy was earning his money this weekend.
It was definitely. I think security was definitely tight this weekend. I definitely noticed there was definitely a stronger presence, or maybe I just know the security team a little bit better by the third Exotica, but they were definitely more present. I felt like in DC than they were in Jersey or Chicago. So I never felt unsafe or, threatened in any way whatsoever. Because I know that all I would have to do is say, hey, and they would have somebody there. So they were not bad in like an aggressive way. It was just a unknowing and uneducated way. They just didn't know what to expect. So we, a lot of us kind of just walked them through. And by next year, I think it'll be a whole different year. Like, I'm not saying it was a problem by any stretch. I'm just saying that there were a few that, that took a few liberties. So
we have got the fabulous Gigi Dior with us today. She joins us live here in our broadcast talking about her fun trip at Exotica in Washington, D.C., of all places. So tell me a little bit about some of the other things that went on, because there was all sorts of I see some video that got put up here of the Miss Exotica contest, which just looks like it is just like the third level of hell, and I want to go there. It's fantastic.
Well, I competed in the Chicago one, and that was the third level of hell for me personally. So I'm a very competitive person by nature. So I was told that it was like just kind of like a contest, right? You walk up, you like strut your stuff, you have like different outfits on, and you answer a couple of questions, and then it's kind of like a contest, right?
Yeah.
Well, we got up there, and it was anything but just a contest. It was basically just like a pole contest. I think they had like a pole contest, and then they had Miss Exotica. I think they probably were equivalent, and I think even the same person won both. So I get up there, and actually this is where I met Nikki Huntsman, was in the line at Chicago Exotica for Miss Exotica. And so her and I are standing there, and these girls are like doing all this crazy stuff on a pole. And I'm gonna be 40 in the spring, and I was like, I've never touched a stripper pole ever in my life. Like, I've never touched it, I've never brushed up against it. I'm intimidated out of my mind about these things. And she's like, yeah, she's like, I'm a porn star. I've never touched one either. So we like bonded over that. But so I walked around it a couple of times. I grinded on the judges, and that was my experience. So ever since then, getting back to why I'm so competitive, I've been taking pole classes ever since, because I'm like, I'm going to show up at one of these years, and I'm going to kill it because I know it's coming. So I'm like, I'm coming for you, Miss Exotica.
Wow,
I'm coming for you,
that's pretty
I know
awesome.
what to expect now. So
That's pretty badass.
But yeah, so Miss Exotica is great. It's a great way to get involved, and I met some wonderful people through it that that I've seen it at multiple cities now. But unless you have pole experience, my recommendation is stay away from it until you're confident in your moves anyway. So it was fun. It's a great experience and great entertainment. The girls are incredible. Incredible.
We have got Gigi Dior with us today. She joins us live here on our big program. She is fantastic, and
Thank you.
I always love chatting with her. We got invited to, and I don't know if this is going to happen because it's in Florida, and as we all know, Brittany is allergic to the entire state of Florida, so I don't know if we'll be able to go. But apparently there is an event coming up called Barry's Boob Fest. Big Will is obsessed with this and wants to go. So we may end up going to this thing. Apparently this guy and several of his boob friends were at Exotica walking around. What are some of the different things you might have you saw that maybe you didn't see in Chicago or any of these other places you've been?
It's a really good question. There were more podcasts at DC.
Of course there is.
In Chicago and in New Jersey, I didn't see any like booths that were actual podcasts. And then in DC, there were two. And then there were obviously, like the podcasts that walked around and did interviews,
Yeah.
but there were actual booths with podcasts set up. So that was something that was completely different in DC that I hadn't seen before. It was definitely an interesting spin because it's a great idea. Why not film the whole weekend and get you don't have people cancel, which was the best part because in this industry, your cancellation rate is about 75%. So.
Well, see, one of the things that if I were to ever do, and maybe at some point we may end up having to do this, but if I were to set up a live, or even, record content at one of these conventions, I am going to need myself. I'm going to need a co-host. I'm going to need somebody to go run and grab the girls. I look at this and I'm like, the staffing is just incredible. and
then you have to make sure that you have a good location for your actual booth because if you're in Timbuktu and you don't have the traffic walking by, the people watching is not there. I would also recommend, if you ever did it, to have a multi-camera system, one that you can see the audience, maybe a head cam as you're walking around. You could do people watching, because that was part of the appeal, was like when I was sitting at my booth signing, just the people watching is, it's better than sitting at Walmart sometimes.
Well, see, my thing is we've got like, for instance, I've just the studio set up here. I've got me, I've got the recliner cam, which doesn't have anybody in it because, of course, there's nobody here this week. Speaking of, next week we're going to have Cluck the Clown. He is a professional wrestler. He is going to be in studio, and and like I have. Let me see here. If I've got multiple cameras all over the place. So yeah, I would have to bring an entire setup. We'd have to. It would be even more equipment than I usually bring anyway, which would drive Brittany insane.
And then you have to come up with content. Like, these are not small, 2-hour stints that we're sitting there. I mean,
no, you're gonna have
Saturday is what, 1 o'clock to 11 o'clock,
you're
or
gonna
2
have
o'clock
to be
to 11 o'clock. I mean, it is like a really long stretch of time. So, you're there for the long haul. So you definitely have to make sure that you build in food breaks, and you may have to make sure that somebody can carry it while you go to the bathroom, or just stretch your legs, for crying out loud. So, and then the amount of material you have to fill that amount of time is just crazy.
I would much rather just take Britannia with the stick, and Big Will and myself, and we just go do interviews.
You killed it in Chicago. You got incredible interviews. You got who you wanted to get. And
Big Will got the Godfather, for God's sakes.
What's that?
He got the Godfather, for God's sakes.
He did get the Godfather.
Big Will. He got. Against all odds, that motherfucker got the Godfather. So,
he did. He did.
So
the girl that you actually introduced me to at MFC that showed me my first pole moves and stuff. She actually just reached out to me on Instagram. She's such a sweetheart. She's like, I don't know if you remember me. I was like, I will never forget somebody who helped me ever. I was like, I'm so grateful for her help. So she definitely helped break me into my future. So.
Yes. So, okay, tell me about the experience at the booth, your booth that you were stationed at.
Well, I was at James Barley's booth.
Yes.
So, I was intimidated. I'll be completely transparent. I still wonder why people watch me or follow me, or I'm just me.
Well, you're hot for one, but
what's that?
You're hot for one.
Oh, well, thank you. So looking at all these girls like Crystal Rush and Misty Stone and Summer Rain, and looking at these girls, and I'm like, oh my God, they are stunning. I'm like, why the hell does anybody come to me? So I was intimidated, but the experience at my booth was very it was just special. I really got close with Foxy and Redheaded Barbie, and Misty is such a sweetheart. Crystal and I had a lot of downtime together. I did a couple of panels with James about breaking into the industry. So it was wonderful. My experience at the booth, I was really intimidated and nervous going into it, because I was at least in my own booth, the only one that could screw up is myself, and I don't have any expectation. I'm my own worst critic, but I hate letting other people down, and I hate not performing to, I feel what other people's expectations are. So I really hard on myself. So, but being there, they were very warm and sweet and welcoming, and everybody was super helpful, and we just worked with each other. If one of us needed a photo, the other person jumped in, and we just managed the booth really well. If somebody had to go to the bathroom or get something to eat, we always made sure that somebody else was there to man the booth so that everybody's stuff was safe and, nobody took anything. So it was a great experience. I'm actually signing with the same group with James Bartley at X3 in January in LA. So I'll be at his booth again for the XBiz Awards, or the XBiz convention, excuse me. So I'm really excited about that too. So it's just more friends that I've made in this industry in the incredible 7 months that I've been in. I can't believe it's only been 7 months. It feels like it's been 7 years already. But I don't know if I answered your question, but it's
No,
just
no, no,
been,
no,
it was
no,
just an awesome
no.
experience.
I think it's great that you were able to survive the weekend because I just think it was probably just crazy.
There
So
were moments.
another person that I kind of feel sorry for her because she is terribly intimidating, and I think that's part of the reason why a lot of people didn't frequent her booth when we were at the Chicago Exotica. But this rubber doll chick, you watch her stage show, and at the end of it, you're like, she scares the crap out of me. I got
Totally. Totally. And I've spoken with her.
she's a
But I
sweetheart. She's a
she's
great
an absolute
chick.
doll. But I think you're spot on. Her intimidation factor is massive. Like like even as a co-performer, like I look at her and I'm like, hey, like I don't feel worthy of talking to you. Like, and I have spoken to her because we have a mutual friend I shot with, a girl named Sarah Rusi.
Oh,
And
Sarah
she shot.
Rusi. We've had her on the show, and
Yeah.
she used to do stuff with Vince Russo. I don't know if she's still around in the professional wrestling world at all, but
I don't
yes,
know.
she's
It's a good
great.
question. I could ask her. She's a sweetheart. And so I shot with her in New Jersey. And she was like, oh, I've worked with rubber dolls. She's like, I'll introduce you. So she introduced me, and I was like, wow, like, so she does do, content trades and content work with other performers, which I was shocked with. But you were absolutely right. Her booth is incredible. The setup is incredible. Her story is incredible. The way that she makes most of her costumes, and or she has a creative say in most of them. If they're really complicated, she has them made, but she creates almost all of them. It's really incredible. Like she's she's a creative genius.
That's awesome. So
Yeah,
we have
she's
got
awesome.
Gigi Dior with us today. She joins us live here on our broadcast, and she is fantastic.
Oh, thank you.
Um,
So are you.
I will have to say that you gave out your age earlier. You don't look like you're like you're gonna be like 40 or whatever.
Yep, I'll be 40 in the spring. I can't even believe it. I look at myself sometimes and I'm like, oh, I am. But I feel it's just a number, right? Like
Well, yeah.
I'm getting a lot of stepmom stuff lately. I'm getting a lot of MILF, obviously, and I don't know. Like it's a whole entity itself. The whole MILF and stepmom realm. It's definitely interesting.
So, what exactly do you see besides this X3 that's coming up? I've
Mhm.
heard from a bunch of different people that has the potential to become a train wreck, but it also has the potential to become a really cool show. So
I agree. I think in the absence of AVN this year, I think it could go definitely one way or the other. I'm hoping, the incredible route is the way it goes because with AVN going virtual, I think we need a way of being together and celebrate
yes,
and to really, come together again on a celebratory, platform. Exoticas are wonderful because they're all of us getting together and really coming together as a community and seeing our fans and followers and co-performers. But I think X3 has the great potential of the celebration of the XBiz awards and all of that. And I think it's a great way to like celebrate one another. So I hope that it's on the end of being an amazing show instead of a train wreck. But in porn, you never know.
we have got a great guest with us today. Gigi Dior is with us. She joins us here on our big broadcast. So, have you heard when the dates for Exotica for the new year are going to be coming out?
Yeah.
Or
So I've heard through the rumor mill that Chicago's in April, but I also heard that they're doing a 421 in New Jersey.
oh
So that
Jesus!
should be
Oh
interesting.
no! They're going to give me
That
a
should be
reason to
interesting.
go to New Jersey. Damn it!
Right.
I'm
So,
gonna have to go hang out with Nagy.
so that'll be interesting. I haven't heard of the other shows yet, but I definitely have heard that Chicago is in. I think it's the last weekend in April. Right after, oh my gosh, I just heard about this. It's called Goldicon. It's a Golden Girls conference. Now, if you know anything about me, you know I'm
Yes.
completely obsessed with all things Golden Girls, right?
Golden
Like,
Con.
I channel my inner Blanche every day, right?
God
So,
damn it.
so I was so
I
mad that it's the
guess.
weekend before. I was like, oh, I might have to go to Chicago for two
My
weekends in
God,
a row because I
apparently this
can't miss
thing.
Goldicon. I mean,
Okay.
seriously, that's amazing.
I'm looking this up right now, and from the New York Post, it says the first ever Golden Girls convention wants to thank you for being a fan. Instead, it's pandering to the. Let's say the story starts out with Comic-Con, but instead of pandering to Marvel and DC comic book fanatics, it's geared towards lovers of cheesecake and wisecracks. The Golden Girls, first ever Golden Con.
You're
This
speechless.
is just amazing.
Right?
Event producers Zach Hudson and Brad Boloff announced this week the event will feature guest appearances by guest stars, producers, and others directly connected with the show. We're creating a space where fans can celebrate all things they love about the show. It's going to be April 22nd through the 24th. Holy shit. This is real. This is fucking real.
It feels really wrong to miss it for some. Like I have to make this work.
Golden Girls. Oh, this might be something I might have to get a press pass and go to as well. Holy shit. So we've learned a heck of a lot today with Gigi.
Right?
We had the trip through the fucking porn shop, and then we're talking about the Golden Girls today. I guess before we let you go, because I know that your time is limited and I don't want to take too much more of it. Before we let you go, how do we get in touch with you online and see your stuff and everything else?
Awesome. So Monday through Friday, you can catch me on Chatterbait at my Gigi Dior, and then to reach out to me through social media, Twitter is my Gigi Dior. My free OnlyFans is also my Gigi Dior. My VIP subscribed OnlyFans, which is just a subscription and no pay-per-view, is my Gigi Dior VIP. And then I lost my Instagram, so I have a new Instagram, but it's Gigi Dior SFW. And yeah, that's the big ones are mostly Twitter and Chatterbait. If you can find me there, then everything else links from there. So that's the big stuff.
Fantastic. Well, I appreciate it, Gigi, and I will talk to you soon.
Thank you. This was awesome.
Wonderful, wonderful holiday, and I will talk to you soon.
Thank you for having me. Have a wonderful holiday. Tell Brittany I said hi.
I will. Thank you, my friend. There she
Bye,
goes.
guys.
That is Gigi Dior. Holy smokes, we've learned a lot, and apparently there's a Golden Con coming. Oh, boy. And apparently Exotica on 420 in New Jersey? I'm not going to New Jersey in the middle of April.